I'm going to ask something I think pretty contentious. I'll lead up to it. I'll start off by saying I think it's an excellent idea. And there's a homeless chap that I live near Horsham, and this chap and I have sparked up a bit of a discussion relationship because he reads the same books as me. So whenever I go shopping in Horsham, I take along one of my old books and get that to him to read. And he's sadly, he lost his dog 2 years ago, and has been devastated ever since. So clearly there is a huge benefit to homeless people having a pet. We know there's a huge benefit to anyone having a pet. Homeless people perhaps even more so. A lot of them have mental health problems and find it a struggle to communicate and interact and socialize with other people. In some cases that may have been the cause of them becoming homeless. In other cases it's arisen because they've become homeless. And pets often bridge that gap. It's companionship. So here we go. Here's the hard question. Are pets suffering because they're not looked after properly? And should we, rather than going along and giving treatment to pets that may not be able to consistently get veterinary treatment, just say to them, no, I'm sorry, if you haven't got a home, then you can't look after a dog? I think we know the answer, and let's hear it.
Yeah, no, it's not contentious. It's fine. I've been asked it. I mean, it's a fair enough question. I think people, have that question in their mind. They always want to know, where do the dogs come from? Like, where do these people get their dogs? What's the deal there? And also, are they looking after them properly? And I guess, I'm in a privileged position to be able to answer the question like with some evidence to back it, to be honest. So I mean, we've been doing this for 5 years now, and in terms of, there was I don't want to bore your listeners with an actual study, but there was a study done that did look at housed pets versus their health status to those living with those experiencing homelessness. It was done by William and Hogg at Cambridge Vet School, and yeah, comparable, 100%. And the problems that you see are also very similar, and we would absolutely concur with that. So I think what people who are unsure or concerned, need to, I think the biggest thing to think about is, where do the dogs come from? And I think once you have the answer to that, you really get it. And I think majority of the people that we are our clients had their dogs when they were in a different situation, when they're linked to happier times. I treated a dog a few months ago, and the owner lost his farm, and this was his sheepdog. Like, they worked together, lived together. There was no way he was giving up his dog. So sometimes people are on the street for that reason. We all know there's a massive problem with getting accommodation with pets at the moment. It's very topical, but so you either don't take accommodation because you're not going to give up your pet, or when you are on the street with your pet, you then can't get into accommodation with your pet. So it is having a pet and choosing to stay with that pet rather than actually relinquishing it is actually perpetuating homelessness, because these people are so bonded and care so much about that pet that they're willing to maintain that status of rough sleeping. Because and the other thing that we see, and I think again sort of confounds this, is a lot of our clients are sick. They need themselves to go to a hospital, and they won't go. They will not go because they don't trust anyone with their dog. And it's only through, StreetVet building trust. Like, it can take months, and then they're like, okay, I know you guys are not going to take my dog, I'll go, and they go to hospital, and we board their dog for a period of time until they come out. So I think in terms of health status, it's more the same as anyone. It's education. They're willing to do it once they understand, but it's a massive trust issue, because what you've got to remember, and I didn't get at all when I started doing this, is the people that we're working with have really kind of sometimes slipped through the cracks, and they've been let down in their lives a lot, by lots of, different things and different things that happen to them. So, when you go and you offer help, they don't believe it. They don't trust. They don't. They think they're very defensive, because the only thing that they feel that they are responsible for is that pet. That's their role. That's their reason for getting up in the morning, and they worry. They've got real concerns that you're going to judge them, or in some way try to separate them from that pet. So I guess the main thing to think is that what do pets want? Like, what does my dog want? It wants my time. I don't always have that time. They want to be exercised, they want to be fed, and they need veterinary care, and to be looked after. And they have like their owner with them 24 hours a day. So these dogs have separation anxiety. That's something they definitely do have, because they're never separate from their owner. So when they do go into boarding or whatever, that is something that we do worry about. But yeah, so in answer to your question, they are some of the most profound bonds I've ever seen in my veterinary career, to be honest.
Wow. So